What's the most uncomfortable question you can ask someone? Do you have a sister by chance? Would you settle for a brother? When are you going to get married, have kids? Especially awkward when someone asks it of you and a good friend of the opposite gender. Not every friendship is a romantic comedy waiting to happen. Sometimes you have platonic chemistry. What kind of debt are you in? The mafia are currently fighting a turf war over the collection of said debt. It's made me pretty popular. Hey, can we have a talk about your search history? Warning. I have detected that your heart rate is 24,732 beats per second. Maybe relax a bit. Male or nurse here. I'm always asking embarrassing questions to the female patients. Especially if they're young. Are you currently sexually active? Do you have any STDs? Was asked by the charge nurse to discharge a 16-year-old female patient for vaginal discharge and to tell her how to medicate herself. I told her no. Do you really want a guy to tell a young girl how to clean herself and to not have sex for 3 months while on meds? She agreed and did it herself. Did you bathe properly today? This is a conversation I had to have with a coworker once. His smell was very distracting for everyone in the office. Guy's wife had died and he just sorta stopped taking care of himself afterward. A couple of us got him set up with a therapist. He left the company shortly after for a less stressful job. But I saw on FB a while later the guy is doing much better. How come I wasn't invited? I was once invited to a party. At the end of which the hostess asked me, how do you keep finding out about these? That F-king stung. Never talked to them again. Have you seen our toothbrush? Are you uncomfortable? Why are you so quiet? Me, starts speaking, gets interrupted repeatedly, why are you so quiet? OMG. Why does that happen? I always think I'm just inept at picking the right time to talk. But it's actually just the one dude that doesn't shut up for a single second. Are we still friends? Or, who's your best friend? Where's my hug? Lol, this gives me some flashbacks. After work on a Friday I was saying goodbye to one of my friends and I gave her a hug. Here comes Brett, hey. Where's my hug? So I give him the biggest bear hug. The kind that traps their arms at their sides. And picked him up off the ground. There's your hug, Brett. My friend said he didn't ask much after that. But you bet your balls I'd tell Brett, hey Brett. I got your hug right here buddy, with outstretched arms. He would give me an uncomfortable look like ew gross. Yeah Brett. That's how you are making everyone feel. Why does no one love me? Well, have you tried paying them? If you come in the back office with me right now. Just you and me. Are you gonna be cool about it? Or be a snitch? Asked by my old boss at a grocery store. He just was offering me shots of Fireball because it was almost closing time on New Year's Eve. But that phrasing sounded kinda fishy. Why does everyone hate you so much? I hate this one so much. I lived in a small town so everybody knew everybody. High school was rough. I didn't know how to stick up for myself and soon became the scapegoat for bullies and rumors. Once our senior year hit, people matured a little and started being nicer to me. I made a lot of friends suddenly and all of them would ask, why does everybody hate you? You're not like they say. It was awkward because most of those people were the ones contributing to the rumors bullying. What color underwear are you wearing right now? Weren't you pregnant? To the gay couple, which one of you is the girl, boy? Actually we're both the boy. It makes being in a lesbian relationship rather confusing. Single quote. I actually knew a gay guy who was a self-proclaimed bottom. And he was in a relationship with another self-proclaimed bottom. They would joke all the time about being a lesbian couple. At a job interview, do I have to do a drug test? Can you tell me something about yourself? Once, back in college, when meeting my then girlfriend's parents for the first time, her dad greets me with a handshake. Nothing odd about that at all. Then, in mid-shake he says, so you're the guy F-king my daughter. I was genuinely rendered speechless. Edit to add, he didn't mean it in a threatening way or as an alpha move. And that was perfectly clear in the moment. My girlfriend had warned me that he was a bit of a kidder. And I was also aware of the fact that they were very open when it came to discussing sex. I knew before I met him that her dad knew we were sleeping with each other. And that it wasn't something that had to be kept secret. I just didn't expect to be greeted with it during introductions. I once had a stranger tell me, I saw the and I was like, saw what? You were checking out that girly honestly had no clue what he was talking about because I seriously wasn't checking out anyone but he kept insisting that I was and that I should stop denying it. The dude was like 40. What the F was his problem? FC King embarrassing man. Doctor. In front of parents, are you sexually active? I only do an LL. Single quote. Doctor. That explains the smell. Plot twist. The doctor is a dentist. I'm not sure if it counts. But if someone asks you, hey, can you move over a seat so I can be next to my friend? Especially if you thought the person asking you was your friend. Along the same lines. When at parties with friends I was always asked to take pictures of people but no one ever asked to be in a pic with me. It stung. Okay, I have this issue. Friends always post pictures on Instagram at football games, parties, etc. so I know they take pictures. But whenever I'm with them no one ever offers to take pictures with me. And so I feel like I have to force people to begrudgingly take pictures with me. And usually I suggest we get a picture and people act like they forget. Once at a party everyone was taking pics. This girl specifically, who I was friends with although not that close, was taking pictures with everyone. Someone pulled a phone around the time she was next to me and asked us to smile for a pic. Which I did. And she covered her face. On a scale of 1 to 10, how pretty do you think you are? It's bad because if you give yourself a high score they'll assume that you're egotistical. And if you give yourself a low score they'll either assume that you're insecure or that you're fishing for compliments. Everyone always answers this with 7. I say 7 if the person asking is hot. 6 if they're not. I'm a 6 in case you're curious. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This is why I hate interviews. I don't even see myself doing anything in an hour and they think I have 5 years planned already. WTF. Say, I see myself with your job. Total madlad move. Said something similar and ended up with their position in under a year and a half. Found out why it was so easily attainable. It was a nightmare. Do you think your friends ever regret meeting you? Not generally, no. Friendship is largely optional on their part. I saw an old high school acquaintance at a club once. She had always been super skinny in HS but this night she had a very pronounced belly. I assumed since she had always been skinny and only had grown in her belly that she was pregnant. She was not. Editing this after my BF insisted that I tell the whole story. I can't remember exactly how I asked her. But she replied in a half laugh that she wasn't pregnant. Me, thinking she was joking, replied, oh just a big lunch then. While patting her stomach. Then I laughed and walked away. My cousin later told me what I had done and informed me that she had a 1-year-old and hadn't lost her baby weight. I will never do that again. As a male I operate under a policy that the only time that you can ask a woman if she's pregnant is if she is in active labor and the baby is crowning. And even then you must exclaim surprise that you had no idea. Tell me about yourself. Windows has decided to shut down. I have a problem where whenever anyone asks me my favorite book, movie, band, etc., I cannot think of a single thing I've ever seen or heard. Same goes for if, and it would be a rare occasion anyway, I was to do karaoke. I had to save a list of songs that I actually know in my phone notes so I don't just flip through the songbook in increasing anxiety. Sad face. Why is that clown following you? He's my boyfriend. Hey, we need to talk. This is the worst. Especially over text. Just reply, yeah, I think we do. Then you're both having an anxiety attack. What do you think of me? Whenever someone says this to me I'm always so puzzled and awkward about the whole thing. What do you want me to say? Greater than what do you want me to say? Well, there's the divide. Many people ask the question more implying, tell me something that will make me feel you're sincere. But will flatter me, versus, tell me what you literally think. People like to be valued but not measured. Seen but not observed. Heard but not scrutinized. Understood in the moment but not understood in totality. The former makes them feel significant. The latter reduced. Why don't you have any children? I was a chronic miscarrier. My son is a super duper miracle. Is it in yet? I was starting an IV on a patient. She said something like, I was going to ask you if it was in yet. I didn't even feel it. I wanted to say something like, normally this is the worst thing for a man to hear, so bad. But ya know. Professionalism. This one popped up out of nowhere during a lunch with a group of friends. Dude just asks me out of the blue. You don't like me, do you? No prompting. No conversation leading up to it. The only thing I can even think of is that in the days leading up to it, I'd told him I didn't want to go LARPing and told him no when he invited himself over to spend the night at my wife's and my apartment so he would be that much closer to the LARPing location. For reference, he lived maybe 15 minutes away from us and LARPing was maybe 45 minutes to an hour from there. We had only met him a few times total at this point as a friend of our friends. To answer the question, I mean yeah. You make me uncomfortable inviting yourself over and being pushy, guilt-tripping about things. But let's not make a scene at lunch. Bro. Some dude to me on Discord, how big are BBs? I'm a guy. Reply with, there's different bra sizing systems. Which one do you want me to tell you in? Then block them. Can we become best friends? After meeting for 3 days. Why do people do that? People do that, yeah, surprisingly. And it's not like hey you are so nice. We will be BFFs someday. It's let's become BFFs. Why do you have cut marks on your arm? Cat got me. That cat makes some surprisingly parallel scratches. Yeah, she's a bit of a neat freak. I was telling someone about some good news I had recently gotten and they said congratulations. But someone overheard only the last bit and immediately jumped to, wait. Are you pregnant? In front of a bunch of other people. Never ask someone if they're pregnant. Wait until they tell you. Otherwise you could make things super awkward if they are pregnant but they're not ready to tell anyone. They're trying but haven't been successful yet. Etc. Why are you gay? Who says I'm gay? You are gay. Where do you get that watch? While you're standing next to someone at the urinal.